brain begins working from the moment you are born and never stops until you get up in public to speak. Madam Contest Chair, distinguished judges, fellow Toastmasters, guests, good afternoon. Over 3 years ago, I had my first Toastmasters experience. Yes, I sat, as you are sitting now, in the audience of my first Toastmasters speech contest. I must admit I was a little uncomfortable because growing up, I hated public speaking. I did everything within my power not to be one of the unlucky students chosen from my form to be a public speaker. Writing the speech was easy enough, but delivering it, that was a whole other matter. The proceedings started as they did this afternoon, and I looked in awe as one after the other Toastmasters came up in front of an unforgiving crowd and delivered excellent speeches. I cannot remember who won the speech contest or even the topic of the speech. What I do remember is that I went to every speech contest held after that one. I became so enthused that I convinced myself that I too would get up in front of that crowd and deliver my speech. Could you imagine the girl who hated public speaking would get up in front of that crowd? Well, getting up in front of the crowd was not as easy as I thought it would be. After all, the Toastmasters made it look like a walk in the park. Firstly, I had to join a club. Well, there were 3, so anyone would do. Secondly, I had to train. Yes, train in speech writing and delivery, evaluation, mentorship, and just being yourself. Imagine my surprise when I discovered that in order to get up in front of the crowd and become a true Toastmaster, I had to train along 2 distinct lines: communication and leadership, with evaluated topics such as your body talks and critical thinking, respectively. I distinctly remember making my first speech and experiencing the wonders of my sympathetic nervous system. My throat went dry. My hands were cold and shaking, and my heart, oh my heart, it was pumping so loudly I swear everybody could hear it. I cannot begin to tell you how I felt after making that first speech, or how much I valued the critique which followed. In the welcoming and nurturing Toastmasters environment, I blossomed into a public speaker. Entomology 101 preempted my likely participation in a previously held speech contest. An unknown speech evaluator said, "You're always going to get butterflies when you get up in front of a crowd. The problem is not to try to get rid of these butterflies, because you're never going to do that, but rather you are going to try to get your butterflies to fly all together in the same direction." My predicament here today, I lay at the feet of my current mentor, who has convinced me that my butterflies are now in V formation. My journey here this afternoon encapsulates the Toastmasters motto, which goes, for better listening, for better thinking, for better speaking. Having gone the gamut from icebreaker to vocal variety, I no longer require crutches to stand here before you this afternoon. But for every speech that is given, there are actually 3 speeches. The one you practiced, the one you actually give, and the one you wish you had given. So, tell me, really, which one do you think this really was? Madam